Hello, this is Yo Sensei. Today, we will learn how to model iconic modern chairs. Chairs have proper ergonomics for different types of usage. We will model a dining chair, a counter stool, and a lounge chair using Rhino 3D. There are more advanced operations like Loft with recorded history, edgeSrf with facet creating, and a very simple introduction to subdivision modeling.
Okay, let's get started. So we have three different types of the chair. First one is the Eames Eiffel Tower size gel chair with metal base. And the second chair is this kind of like faceted high chair that is for the counter height. Number three is a lounge chair. In this case, this is a room chair, lounge chair. It's kind of like low type of seating. Okay. So each of them has a specific scale to it. So in this case, we can use this scale guide as a, the basic space. And also you can change the inside of the viewport properties. And we are using this 200 millimeter lens, which is really long. So change it to something like 50 millimeter. That would be nice. And then we are going to produce a series of lines using polyline tool, not the polyline, but the control point curve tool. And they don't really connect at the point, but we kind of like draw this on top view as a flat. And make sure that project object snapping is on. So we have this first curve. And I'm just going to create a new layer for this. Okay, so the second curve is going to be a curve that is going to start a little bit more on the inside from the center point. Not exactly on the center line, but second line, we will create another curve that is flat, that is slightly inset from the first one. Preferably on the same line. So we will select these two lines, and then we can run the mirror command to just copy to the other side. And then we will turn control points on. Okay, that's nice. What we could do is to lock our layer that is a scale template layer. So you can just lock it, and then we can only manipulate with this, control point curves. So now we will take a few of the back points, and using the scale template, we can kind of like find a place where these curves will land. In this case, working on the perspective view would be nice. And then all the seating to be at, in this case, it's about 18-inch seating position. Now you can take these curves to adjust the position so that it's going to look like a seating shell. Okay. Now, in this case, we will click on record history and then run loft command. And with record history, you will be able to loft these curves and then go back to the original curve and edit the curve to edit the entire form of it, like this. So the curve is going to still affect the form. Okay, but if you select the surface, resulting surface, and then move it away, it's going to break the history. So in this case, what we want to do is to only select the curves, but not the surface. So there is a useful command for this that is called selection filter. So if you type up selection filter and then kind of dock this one near the side panel, you will have this kind of reference. And then you can, if you turn off the surface, and then you can only select the curve in this case, which is useful. Turn control points on, and then start editing the control points. And then in the design we call it form massaging, and it's like massaging of the form to find the right form. So you can edit the control points for a more subtle control over this object. Maybe the front part of the Eames chair will dip down, so we will select some of the control points in the front and then have it go down a little bit. And so, you can create this kind of very controlled adjustment. That would be nice. And think about symmetry of the chair. If you select on one side, make sure to select the corresponding curves on the other side. What's cool about it is you can take curves on the both sides, and then you can use Gumball's scale handle to change scale. So I'm adding some more, editing. Yeah, really do spend a lot of time editing here, and then find a perfect curve that will work for you. Okay, this is a pretty good curvature for Eames chair's shell. Now we are going to create a base. So the base, you can draw a small rectangle for the top of the base, and then larger rectangle. These are 2D rectangles that you can draw for the base. So, but make sure to that these lines are vertically oriented. So you can just draw a line using the middle point of the bounding box, and then just use the move tool, and then object snapping to move it to the middle point. And then move from the midpoint to the center. So that's a good alignment. And the next thing is we are going to project this line on the shell. So we will find a perfect spot for these corners to land on the shell. So select the line and then type project. And then make sure to do this on the top view, because this is the view we are projecting. Also, selection filter will prevent you from selecting the surface, so make sure that you turn on the surface for the selection filter. Now you can turn off project and then make sure that endpoints are selected. You can draw the lines between these corners. Okay, so that's the basic first structure of it. Okay, that's nice. Okay, so the secondary structure that the Eames chair has is square, and then you can just draw a 2D square on the top view by holding shift. And then rotate this object by 45 degrees by single clicking on the arc and then typing 45. And then again, you would like to move this piece to the middle by using the move command. Okay. And then move it up somewhere a little bit higher than the middle part. Okay. So now we are going to connect line from the corner on the top to the middle to the bottom. So simple polyline from there to there to there. And then another one from there to there to there. And then from the top, from the bottom to the corner to the corner, from the top to the corner to the bottom corner. So once you have these diagonal lines, you can just select all of these and then run mirror command on the top view. That's nice. Okay. So once you have it, you can just pipe everything. In this case, I am going to type like 0.25. That is too thick. So I'm just going to try typing pipe 0.1. Okay. So that's like Eames chair. Very nice. And then you can add thickness to it. So when you try offset surf is going to give you an error. Okay. So there. So for some reasons that the offset surf is going to give us an error, and so that is not good. So the better way to get around it is to just go to the side view and then just copy the seating surface and then make sure that they don't overlap in any ways. So we have double surfaces here. So we will run this command called dupe border here. So what it's going to do is dupe border is going to duplicate the border of the object as curves. And then what you can do is just loft between these curves to create the edge, which is quite nice. So you can select all of the faces and the sides and then join them. So that is the image there. That's quite nice. Okay. Second one is this kind of faceted bar stool chair. And bar stool chairs are typically pretty high, and it's about 30 inches on the 40-inch counter. So we will use this scale reference to work on it. You can hide the previous objects by selecting and hiding them. Okay. Okay, so in this case, what we can do is using the top view, we will draw this kind of faceted line. First, what we want to do is we would like to draw a line that is going to be the center, and then that's going to connect them. And then start drawing some kind of like loose boundary of this. Okay. And then that will end in the middle point. And then make sure that you have the object snapping on. Go ahead and draw triangles to this. Okay. And then you don't really want the triangle to be extremely even. So we want to show sense of randomness throughout this object. And then kind of like imagine, which part is going to be, used as a seating and which part is going to be used as back. And then make sure that all of the lines you will draw is going to be the single line on each edge. Okay, this point that was moved, so you can just use a move tool. Always use a move tool to move things around so that it's going to be accurate. So that is good. We have the whole line. Next, we can select. So every line that on the triangle edge needs to be fragmented single line. So you can just draw these lines as single lines. And then also select all of the lines and then run explode command so that each line that you will have is fragmented single lines. So now you will take these lines and then run mirror command, and it's going to be mirror copied. However, if you look at it on the perspective view, since we didn't have the project snap on, we didn't have any control over the depth. So the lines are all over the place. So this happens quite a bit. To fix that, you can just select the lines on the top view and run project to C-plane command. Okay. So this command and then delete input yes, and then this command is going to just flatten your lines if you have this kind of thing. So now you can go ahead and then bring the lines to the seating surface and then start changing the positions of them. And then moving them around. So which part is a seating, which part is seat back, that kind of stuff. Again, think about symmetry. They need to be symmetrical. The balance is a little bit off, so I am going to adjust it using the perspective view and respect the bounding box in this case. Yeah, I think I have more facets towards the front, so I am adjusting that, changing scales using gumball. Okay, so that's pretty good. Yeah, massage the form well. And then now you're going to run this command called edgeSrf. And then edgeSrf is a command that will create this kind of triangulated surfaces. The reason that we don't do Loft is that if you do edgeSrf with these triangles, you can only select two lines, two straight lines that are touching with each other. And then that is going to create these triangles. And then another benefit of doing this is that even if you don't use history, these triangulated surfaces you can edit later as by turning control points on, which is really useful. So you can select all of these and then create these faces. Okay. So these are all the surfaces. I'm joining here. Okay. And then running mirror command to copy it to the other side. So, so we have this nice seating surface, but there is something wrong with this middle part where your back is going to hit. And so I would like to edit this one. So first, what I need to do is I would like to hide all of the curves. So you can run this command called cell curve, SELCRV, cell curve. So it's going to let you select all of the curves in your file. And then you can just simply hide it. Okay. That is going to hide some curves that you don't want to hide maybe, so be careful. And then you can select all of the facets and explode to get them into single surfaces. And then drag to select control points, multiple control points at the same time by changing to wireframe view. And then select it. There will be more than one control points in every corner, so make sure that you are selecting all of the control points together. So in this case, we select it and then join them. And then since the offset surf didn't work really well, I'm just going to copy this one as well, like the one we did with EAMS. And then dupe border to duplicate border, and then loft between the borders. So that's going to add thickness and then join. Okay. So we got the seating. Now we would like to build the base. For this chair, we would like to go with pretty simple leg. So 1 inch by ½ inch kind of box, simple box with a little bit of angle on the side view. And then it's a little bit too short, so you can just elongate it by using the gumball. Adjust the angle, adjust the location. Okay. So that's pretty good. Make it a little bit longer than what it needs to be. And then use the mirror command to mirror it to the back, adjust the location, and then take both front and back and then mirror on the top view to copy it to the other side. Okay. So using the chair, you can select all of the legs and type split to split the legs, and then select the legs top parts you don't need. So delete it, and then go to the side view, draw a line, and then use that line to trim out the leg. Yeah, you can copy it if you want. So now we are going to create this kind of side support, and adjust it, and then make it a little bit high on this side, and then mirror copy to the other side. And then when you're designing a chair like this, it's always a good idea to use the human scale figure as a reference. So you can get her to sit there and then find a good position for where her legs should rest. So you can take this object or copy this object and then rotate it and then move it to where her legs are going to rest. So, that's a pretty good location. And then copy that to the back. Okay. And then in perspective view, you can check if it's in the right position. So that seems right, except for that it's not aligned in the, center. So you can adjust that one too. Okay, so this is a faceted bar counter stool, very nice. Now we are going to go ahead and build this kind of chair. It has a very soft-ish form, and we are going to use this tool that is new to Rhino 7 that is called Subdivision. And this will allow you to design this in a very, very flexible way. So find Subd tools tab from the top menu, and then you can just go ahead and build a box. Okay, so find the Subd box. Okay. And then just by default, draw a box. And then it's going to kind of draw this kind of soft-ish box. And then click on this part that says face mode. And then this will allow you to manipulate the object by face or edges. Okay. And then, okay, so let's get into it. So run the box command again of the subd. And then make sure that X count, you change it to 3. And then Y count, you change it to 3. Z count, you change it to 3. And then draw a box by the guide. Okay, so that's going to give you this kind of box. And then make sure to turn off all of the selection filters by clicking on that, selection filter none. And then change the scale. Okay, and then adjust it there. And then let's change this to face mode, and then get rid of these top face and then front face. So select all of these faces by clicking to yellow, and then delete. So we will get this kind of shell, which is nice, which is already soft. If you're not seeing this as in this softish form, make sure to you can press Tab key on your keyboard to you know get it in the smooth mode. So I've selected both of these faces and then kind of created this kind of narrowing seating. And I have selected these four surfaces and deleted them. Okay. Change it to edge mode and then select these edges and then take it down to create this kind of, armrest type of thing. That's nice. And yeah, adjust it a little bit better. Yeah, maybe I don't need these edges are a little bit in the way, so maybe I could, yeah, maybe I could just select faces and then delete those faces. Yeah, so it became a little bit more natural. So after that, we are going to go ahead and then really adjust the form to it. Yeah, and try to keep it relatively clean and consistent. That's going to really help you to articulate the form. Okay, so the seating part is fine. Change it to edge mode and then create a little bit of dip there. That's nice. And overall, I think you can create a little bit more of roundedness. So if you press tab, it's going to become that type of straight mode. So now we can control the vertex, which is a point. You can just also control these objects by these points, which will give you a deeper control of your objects, which is nice. Very cool. So if you change it to straight mode, it's going to look like this. So you can press tab to keep it as a smooth mode. Adjusting some of the edges. So to add thickness to it, there is a thickening tool, offset command for the subdivision. So first you click on the selection filter off, and then there is a offset surface command. And then options are distance is one, solid yes, and then delete input yes. So that is going to give you a option to cleanly add thickness to subdivision object. So after that, you're going to add these legs by looking at where do they go. I think it's a little bit easier to just move it out of the way. And then using the control point curve tool, hide other ones that you don't need. And then control point curve tool to start from the side. Yeah, you can use the polyline tool to kind of go up to it. Make sure that you turn on project snap on this so that it's going to draw these curves flat. And then give some control points and do some little adjustments here and there. And then take the curve control points and then try to make this leg to be pretty straight. And then the forward facing parts will go inward. Okay. I think I have pulled a control point from the leg part, so you're gonna have to modify it to straighten this line a little bit. Also, this line needs to end at the middle point of this curve of this chair. So draw a straight line for the midpoint. Move this control point to the curve. Okay, so that's the back leg for this one. And for the front leg, it's going to be just a simple line that you can draw on the front view. So starting from there, you can just draw this line, and then it will come back down, and then it's going to end at that midpoint. Okay, and then adjust the position. Okay, and then adjust the curvature a little bit. So select both front and back leg pipe at 0.4, 0.8 inches of diameter. That's pretty good. So select both pipes and then go into the top view and then run mirror command based on the middle point. So that will let you create this room chair. Very nice, very nice controlled shape. So in the end, you can just show whatever you have created now. Okay, and now you can just add materials and render it. So this way you can create this kind of modern chair in a simple steps. But we have covered a lot of different commands for this, and I hope this is useful. And please use this tool for your own project. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.